Kieran Trass, property market analyst from Suburb Watch. The question that I wanted to address in research that I actually did for my Hotspots book was, how do we know where to buy a property? How do we know which suburb that we should actually buy in? Is it better to buy in one suburb or the other? How are you going to make that decision? And because what I've noticed over the years is that some suburbs would see a sudden surge in values, and it just seemed to happen out of nowhere. Suddenly values were spiralling upwards, and I used to think, wow, I wished I had bought a property in that area, and I wished I'd known that that growth was going to occur. So I did some research to work out whether I could actually identify these suburbs that were due for some surge in growth. That's why I wrote this book, An Insider's Guide to Real Estate Hotspots. And what I found in my research is, yes, you can identify whether an area is going to have a surge in growth or not. And in my research, I looked at all the potential drivers of growth in an area, and I came up with a checklist of about 50 different drivers. And I found that the more of these drivers that were evident in a suburb, the more likely it was to see a sudden and strong lift in values. And I've actually been using this information to my own personal advantage, because I actually have been buying in areas that have been having surges in growth. So the neat thing is about this information is that it actually works, and there's no real science behind this. A lot of it's common sense. I mean, some of the drivers that I'm talking about are things like an improved transport link or a new transport link, which opens up an area, makes it a lot closer to other areas that might have been distant before and not many people went there. Suddenly there's a nice, easy link via transport to get there, and more people start going there. Demand starts to increase, demand increases, and values will follow. But it generally takes a combination of these drivers. There might be some other things, like suddenly there might be some employment growth. There might be a new employer opens up a new factory in the area and creates a couple of hundred jobs, and suddenly you've got people flooding into that area. I mean, a classic example of a hotspot in Auckland was obviously the Sylvia Park development and what's happened to Mount Wellington as a result. And interestingly enough, we've got a similar thing occurring in Albany right now with a huge new shopping centre, the largest in New Zealand, I believe. And of course, what is that going to do? It's going to generate jobs, and people are going to want to actually be closer to that area. So yes, you can identify hotspots. It's not rocket science, but it does take homework, frankly. And my attitude is, it's not all about location, location, location. It's all about research, research, and research, because the more information you have, the better decisions you can make. Thank you.
Perfect.